Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to Channel Your Light, Own Your Intuitive with myself, Erin Chandler. And so blessed to be here with each and every one of you. I am blessed. You are blessed as well. Claim that I am blessed. I'm hearing Florence Scovel-Shinn. I am the daughter of the King. May the King's abundance, light, love, compassion, harmony, and power reign through me, through the kingdom of the King, which is my kingdom because I am the daughter of a king. That's so interesting that just came through as I am about to share these messages with you. Claim that you are the daughters and sons of the kings. Anyways, so that's for somebody on here. Remember who you are. I have a group of somebody's guides here saying, remember who you are. Remember the divine that streams through you. Remember the power that resides within you, the connection of all things, that you are the heart of the divine, and you are the heart of Gaia, and you are the heart that walks the earth plane in the incarnation, the daughter of the king, the holder of the keys of the kingdom, the sons of the king, the holder of the keys of the kingdom. Remember who you are. This was very unexpected. I came on here to say something completely different. However, my daughter Ava says trust. She is writing across the room the word trust in big, bold letters, because the thing that I was told to come on here and talk about is the hesitation, or one might view it or perceive it or feel like it is a distrust that you have with yourself or with the spirit, your intuitive knowings, not being able to trust those things. There goes the grandfather clock to ding 7, the magic number, just to chime in on that. For all of you sons and daughters of the King, remember you are also sons and daughters of the Queen, for it is a mother, father, God, an infinite creator that does not place one above the other, but rather each has an equal place and an equality and a reciprocity and a very specific role. But both are honored, daughters and sons of the King and the Queen, the one infinite creator. So let's talk about this hesitation, my friends. I actually wish to talk about this from literally the depths of my soul. And I say this from this perspective because I'm hearing the song Ava's like, because many people have this perspective as we move through this shift, through the weird energies and the scattering that's happening right now, and all of the truth being revealed, whether it's truths within ourselves that we've been denying or truths out on the main stage of information that has been denied to us. All of the illusions coming full circle, the shifts in energy, the sudden understandings that we are so much more than we have ever been told, than we have ever felt, than we have ever believed. These aspects can bring periods of deep hesitation, deep unsureness, not being or feeling steadfast in sometimes who we are, sometimes what our purpose is, sometimes what our role is. These are a natural part of expansion. Someone who is a beautiful soul in my Channel Your Light community. The analogy is much like the child that is going into high school or in their teenage years, where they're growing and shifting so rapidly and so fast. Their brain, their body, their bones, their muscles, their identities are shifting so rapidly that they often are a little bit awkward. They don't know where they fit in. They go through various stages. They're trying to figure out in this new expansion that is so unknown, where they fit in and how they fit in, and they're growing at the same time. This is the shift that many of us are going through. And I was just delighted that that analogy, she used that, because it really does describe the shift in consciousness that's happening for a lot of us quite beautifully. Anytime we are expanding into the unknown, there are places and pieces and parts of us that isn't really sure where it fits in. We are questioning our reality as truth seekers. We are questioning, what is our truth? What is the truth around us? Where do I fit into this? How do my beliefs and my values fit into this? This is part of the energetic shift that we are expanding and going through right now. It always appears chaotic. Sometimes when we go through these massive shifts, there are a multitude of different viewpoints that you can take. One of the hesitations and one of the things that I often struggle with is the dichotomy of all things. And when I say struggle, I don't mean that I struggle with the fact that both sides of the spectrum exist. It's more along the lines of accepting the different facets of the spectrum on the earth plane, the many subsets of souls, and the different perspectives. It's knowing that every time that I show up here on YouTube or in my group communities or in anything that I do, the classes, the expansion programs, the courses, the retreats, all of these things, every time I come to the table, I know that when I explain something to you in the micro, there's also the explanation in the macro. It's like I am looking at the top of the storm from above it, seeing down below, seeing the hurricane, seeing the cyclones that are coming, seeing them at rapid speed, and looking from above and knowing deeply, intrinsically, with every fiber of my being, with all of the divine heart within me, knowing that that cyclone and that hurricane and all the scattering it is going to do, and all the unsureness and all the uprooting and all the chaos that it will bring, is in perfect divine order, because it brings divine order. And yet, in the next day and in the next moment and in the next client I see, I'm in the eye of this storm with them, where all hell has broken loose, where things do not make sense, where wrongs must be righted, where imbalances must be balanced. It's knowing that from above, everything is in perfect harmony, because it brings harmony. That's why chaos can sometimes be the harmony. It is the bringer of light. And yet, I can also view it from the point in the eye of the storm with the other person. I see how that over there is wrong, how this over here is an illusion. That over there is so dark and it needs to be uprooted. Knowing that something is wrong in the midst of it. And yet, when I look above it, seeing how all of the shuffling and the moving and the shifting and the scattering and the uprooting leads to that which is intrinsically right, which begs the question, all that we feel is wrong. Is it truly wrong if it is the catalyst and the push to bring us to what is truly right? Some of you have hesitation. You will get messages. You will have these deep soul yearnings and knowings, and yet you may feel a hesitation. This message is for a specific subset of souls who I wish to tell you your hesitation is actually your deep knowing. It is your deep knowing and your spirit's guidance to pause, to sit in the steadfastness, to not get swept up in the scattered, to hesitate not because you're hesitating, but rather there is another piece of the puzzle your spirit needs to understand. There is another facet or another side of the diamond that you haven't quite come around the corner to see just yet. Perhaps you know that this is the hesitation. Perhaps you just have this feeling of, I don't know why I'm hesitating, and I cannot quite pinpoint it, but that is what's happening. Your hesitation is actually the divine preparing you. Be prepared, I am hearing. It's saying that you have one other piece that you need to put into play, one other idea or concept that you haven't quite seen yet. There's something about it that you haven't quite integrated yet. I'm also supposed to share that when you know, you will know, and it will be so unequivocal and so powerful. The hesitation, that something nudging is something not right, whatever that is, it's telling you something. That's your divine guidance. It's showing you something you have not seen before. It's asking you to dig a little bit deeper. For some of you, you're like, I'm tired of digging deep. I promise you this last little bit will make it all worthwhile. I'm hearing catapult. It will catapult you. Sit in the stillness. What does the stillness and the silence and the steadiness tell you? Sometimes that's why we hesitate. We go round and round and round because we did not sit in the stillness. In a world that tells us constantly to act, we have forgotten that receiving and allowing is an act in and of itself, that simply being in silence is an act in and of itself. It is an action, a chosen one, a conscious one. If you are having hesitation about something, sit in the stillness and do the action of receiving, allowing, breathing. It is taking you to a place that perhaps you have forgotten. It is showing you what's just up around the corner so you can make a better decision in the present moment. It is asking you to reclaim your power and your trust in yourself. Sometimes the hesitation is not because you have a blockage. It is not because you need to remove something. It is not because someone is standing in your way. Sometimes this is divine hesitation. It is divine because you are being nudged to look a little deeper, research a little more, wait for something else to come into alignment. A prime example in this is a previous channel that I posted in the last week or so. I actually channeled that a month ago, and I had hesitation. There's a number of channels from the last month and a half that I have had hesitation in posting. I trust the hesitation, and here's why. The day that I posted that, I heard very clearly, it popped up onto my screen, the recording, and I heard, today is the day you are to post this. That hesitation that I felt was not a doubt in myself or the messages. It was, it's not ready to be shared. And if you scroll through the comments, there is a beautiful mother who said, I asked my son for a message that I needed tonight. And that was her son's message for her that was delivered a month prior when the energy and frequency was aligned, when I was attuned to his energy to receive it. And then the divine gave me a feeling of hesitation. And the moment that it was time to do it, the time that the energies were aligned, the time that the frequencies were a match, I was clearly told, you must post this today and do it now. Do you see how perfectly that worked out? By divine design. I could not have understood that in my logical everyday experience, putting together that there was a mom who wouldn't be ready for another month, or she was going to ask in another month and that's when it needed to be delivered. That is not the knowing that I received, my friends. The knowing I received was, there is a hesitation. You must wait to post these. And when it was time, when the frequency was aligned, when all the other parts and pieces came into play, that was when I got a green light. The planetary commission is arriving. You will always know when you have a green light. The synchronicities will be there. The energy will feel light. It will be easy and it will be effortless. When it is go time, it rolls with a momentum, sometimes that you do not even know where it came from, as if all of the hesitations are suddenly removed. Some hesitations are by divine design, not to stop you from doing something, not because there is an energy or an obstacle in the way. It is because other things are aligning for the perfection of the divine design. It is because something else has to come into play. It's because it's not quite the right time, but it will be. And when it is, you will know it. This is a very clear message for someone on here who is feeling hesitation, but is unable to pinpoint. Pinpoint is the word that I'm getting. Unable to pinpoint or illuminate quite what that means or where it's from. I'm hearing you have been ruminating on it. Like, do I do it? Do I not do it? Why am I hesitating? I'm hearing beating yourself up for it. Some hesitations, dear hearts, your guides are saying, are by divine design, because there is a little piece that you want to look into further. There is a deep steadiness and answer waiting for you in the silence. Trust the hesitation. Ask of it what it needs from you. Sit in the stillness and the silence with it, and just do the action of being and allowing. These dichotomies are fascinating to me, particularly for the role that I play and how I serve and help people step into their power and illuminate things, putting them into a coherent manner as they move along their journey. There are some people who your hesitation is literally a blockage of fear or a blockage of something else. I know that for some of you on this channel, that is what your hesitation is. And sometimes when we come to the table with so many different dynamics and perspectives and lives lived and experiences and awarenesses and different skills and abilities, there's just so many. And it's just so fascinating to know that there are two of you on this channel, and one of you is hesitating because there is gold nudging you to dig a little deeper. And there is another one of you on this channel, let me tell you, so it's one of my guides, that your hesitation is based in fear alone. Your hesitation is in the fear of the outcome of you stepping into your power. We're clearly moving into the second message for this second person's hesitation. You will know if this is yours. You will feel a deep fear of an outcome of having to lose things or hearing a response for somebody. This is your greatest empowerment, facing this fear and simply speaking your truth without being attached to the outcome of other people's reactions or responses. Remember, it is your truth. Someone's reaction to your truth does not change your truth. It's still going to be your truth, whether you've hesitated and not said it at all, or you say it and you get a backlash of energy from other people. It's still going to be your truth in this moment, right here and right now. May your truth change as you evolve and grow and shift from this. Absolutely. But right now in this moment, your truth is what needs to be spoken, regardless of how other people feel about it. It's your truth. It's your life. It's your emotions. It can't be wrong if it is a thing that is yearning to be expressed. It can't be wrong because it's an expression of your soul's experience on this earth plane. It might be wrong for someone else, or the person receiving or reacting may not like it. But that's part of their soul's experience and expression of it. We are always called to express our truth. And yes, our truths may change as we grow. Mine has changed over time as I have deepened and dove much deeper and witnessed so many different beautiful souls on their journeys and their hearts and their perspectives and their viewpoints. It is incredible to know how many truths exist on this earth plane, how many different souls have a very specific truth that is unique to them. And it's unique to them because it is an expression of your own soul's experience, no one else's. To deny our own experience and not express it because it is not the same as someone else's, or someone else may not like it, is a denial of the self. It is a denial of the divine. It is a denial of the beauty of you and what you came here to experience, to express, to learn, and to evolve from, through, and with. Do not deny that. Sometimes speaking our truth is shouting it from the rooftops. And other times speaking our truth is in the silence in the room where it rolls off our tongue, where it gets written onto the paper, and no other soul will ever see it or ever hear it. That too is an expression of your soul's experience, and both are powerful. We don't always have to shout from the rooftops. Sometimes the deepest truths are unveiled, unraveled in the silence of one's heart as it rolls off their pen and off their tongue. Sometimes your truth is not for any other soul to hear. Sometimes it's just for you to hear, for you to acknowledge, for you to honor. As we move through this shift, my friends, many of you are going to notice deep revealing within yourselves. Things you didn't see, old memories coming up to your conscious awareness to be healed and put to rest. You may find that your gifts start to really awaken and open, bringing you to a whole other level of illumination, a whole other, I want to say, dimension, all of your clairs, discovering your power, stepping into an entirely new identity and version of you. Everybody's shift is slightly different. Your shift is exactly where you need to be. It won't be exactly the same as others, and that's okay. It's okay that yours is different. It's okay that some people's are the same. We're all in this together in the fact that we're all shifting. We're just all on different steps. We all have different perspectives. We all have different purposes. And yet, we are all of the divine. We are all called to express, in whatever way our soul is yearning, our experience on this earth plane. So I raise my glass to each and every one of you, and I feel very emotional as I'm saying this last piece, because I'm not just raising my glass. I have literally a room full of people's loved ones in spirit. I have a grandfather tipping his hat. I have a grandmother honoring you for the ancestral things that you have broken. I have somebody's a little girl who is brilliant and beautiful with blonde, beautiful hair, and she is the light of life, who is here and shouting for joy. She is excited. There are just all these different spirits and entities. Somebody's dad is here wanting you to know how proud they are of you for everything. And he's saying, stand tall, chin up, and sing your song. They're all saying, sing sweet nightingale. That is the song that is playing. You are the divine incarnate on this earth plane. You are the divine experiencing itself. And you as the divine are experiencing you. Both ends. Express the experience. Lean into it. There is such beauty and depth in each and every one of you. Do not deny your own expression. And I feel somebody's throat chakra going on this, like something that you've struggled to express. And it has to do with shame. I'm hearing shame of expressing something. Do not have shame. That is a layer and a veil. Whoever is dealing with shame, there is no shame in your experience. There is no shame in expressing your experience. The shame is an external force that has been placed upon you to be ashamed of something that is different from others. Dash in O. We have been conditioned to live in a world of shame where we try to control and make other people fit into our boxes, to all align as if there isn't 5,000 species in the zoo, but trying to pretend that we're all lions or we're all lambs or we're all this. We are not. The shame that you are experiencing, the shame of yourself, the shame of speaking your truth, the shame of honoring something that you have been denying of yourself, that is not the divine's wish for you. That is not the reason you have the shame, because you should be shameful. You have the shame because it was placed upon you, because it was different, because you were told it was less than or wrong or something to that effect. Expressing your shame through journaling. Somebody on here, you need to have some serious physical exercise, because that will help. I'm hearing move the energy of shame. And this is definitely somebody's throat chakra, because it keeps coming in like this. Shame of your journey and who you are. And the physical exercise piece, whomever that message is for, you'll know, because you'll feel like you need to do it. The reason you need to do it is you need to move the energy. The physical expanse of moving energy physically through your avatar helps to process and move through the different layers of emotions and shame. I'm being told very specifically. I'm also getting a reference to somebody who has an abscess of some sort. I'm not sure why that's coming in, but it's just a reference for somebody who's experiencing an abscess on the skin. I am being told very clearly that is any toxic emotional energy that is within you, that is bubbling up to the surface to be removed, cut out, or I'm seeing, this is kind of graphic and gross, but it's almost like I'm seeing it explode. So to be very real and very literal, that's the imagery that they're giving me. An abscess is such a festering and such a wound, and it's so deep that it just bubbles up underneath the skin. It's a release of toxic emotions. You might have this like a tooth abscess, but I'm seeing it as like a boil or something on the skin to that effect. That is a very specific message for obviously a very specific individual. So do not try and make that fit. I'm being clearly told that somebody on here has that and is experiencing that. And your guides, let me tell you, says my guide as well, chiming in on this, which means to me, let me tell you, is listen up, because if that is you, you are releasing toxic emotions. You need to express all of these different things that you have denied yourself from expressing. You are allowed to take up space. Why do you think you incarnated on the earth plane? To experience, to express, to take up space. And again, I feel like that's for somebody related to shame. And again, it's the throat chakra is getting fuzzy every time that comes up for this individual person. So whomever this message is for, you definitely have some issues with the throat chakra. I'm hearing, I try to say goodbye and I choke, try to walk away and I stumble, though I try to hide it, it's still, my world crumbles when you are not near. So it's almost like you're choking on your own thoughts and words that you have not expressed. And oh, good Lord, whomever this is, I feel your soul and I have such deep compassion for you. The moment you just let it unravel and unfurl and let the truth be seen for what it is, you will feel so gloriously free and in bliss. You will feel the weight of 10,000 pounds be taken off your shoulders simply by expressing. Don't choke on your unspoken words, the thoughts you dare not think or say. Let them unravel. Let them come out of you. You will begin to see who you are deeply and clearly when all of that is outside of you. Well, friends, I'm being reminded the very beginning of this channel, remind yourself, you are the sons and daughters of the King and the Queen, of Mother, Father, God, birthed from the energy of creation. Therefore, you are creation walking on the earth plane. You are creation incarnate. You are the divine incarnate. You are the sons and daughters of kings. Remember who you are. Remember who you are. Remember who you are. And the grandfather clock is closing out this once more all in divine timing with the sons and daughters of the King and the Queen, the Mother, Father, God, one infinite creator. As always, beautiful souls, I hope that this message resonated. I changed that from hope to trust because I always hope, but I always trust that it does. So that's a dichotomy in and of itself, really. I am sending you all much love, light, peace, healing, transcendence, and compassion for yourselves as you move through these shifts and things change in your inner world and your outer world. I am sending you absolute love, and may you remember the love of the divine that resides within you, because you are not alone. Until next time, beautiful souls.